And good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning. It is the 26th day of August, and we're glad you're tuned in to the two best hours of local, live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama, 9 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Thank you for joining us, and if you have a hard time picking up that 102.1 FM signal, don't you worry. You can stream at WALTmeridian.com, or you can just download that wonderful WALT app on your device, click it, select our show, and listen in. We appreciate you being there. And, of course, there's some Facebook, YouTube, and XYZs and W's and some of those places you can pick us up. Hey, hello, folks. I'm Roger B. Say hi to the guy to my left, our main man from Meehan. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Good morning.
You looking good? Had a good weekend? Lots of rest?
Yep, we're ready to roll. Let's rev it up.
All right.
Let's get the spoon out and get the pot going.
All right. There he is. And, of course, sitting next to him is, of course, this is the day we have custody of Charles Frazier. And welcome him to this studio.
Better than Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department having custody of me.
That's right.
Not that that's ever happened.
Never.
I mean, I
never.
just want to clarify.
Never has happened.
Okay, not that agency anyway.
Yeah. well,
started early.
We're going to be setting up our prayers for our law enforcement departments.
Oh, yeah, well, we need to do that.
Oh, look at you.
Can we do that now? Or
I'm just doing a Rob Atkinson.
I taught you well.
I'm just doing a Rob Atkinson there.
I taught you well.
Okay.
We'll get into that coming up.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's a great morning, and of course, if you were really, really tired of those heavy, heavy rain showers that we used to have, that you should be really enjoying the weather here lately, because
it ain't rained in a while.
It ain't rained in a while.
Ooh, it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. Is that what we're thinking of? A possible forecast?
Maybe.
We got some maybes.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at it right now, I mean, they're sticking a 20-30% in there by Saturday, 50. So maybe by Saturday. So
yeah,
we'll
and this
see.
is weird, guys, because yesterday, we're in kind of the thick of hurricane season, and yesterday was the anniversary, of course, of Katrina.
Yep.
And, folks, let me just solemnly say and thankfully say
What is the
that
29th?
No, it is the 29th.
It's
yeah,
the 29th.
Not the 25th.
Well, the 25th must have been the time it was discovered out in somewhere.
Maybe named?
Maybe
25th?
named. Maybe named. That might have been it.
The only reason I remember the 29th because I remember I would call my sister that day. I was like, happy birthday. It was Katrina coming
well,
ashore.
see, yeah,
so I'm always going to remember the 29th.
Well, she's strapped to a tree or something trying to...
I was like, happy birthday. Good luck. All
Yeah.
right, thanks.
Stay
Send the cake in the mail.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's when it became a named or whatever, and so then we were kind of watching it as it. Well, it's just a little storm, shouldn't be any problem. Then it grew.
Thanks a
and
lot.
then it grew and grew and grew.
Thanks a lot, Mayor Nagin.
Well, and and I said this before. When it comes to Katrina, every time I visit the coast, I talk about I haven't been that involved with the Gulf Coast until recently, and it's like every time I go down there, I realize how we were so, I guess, robbed, if you will, of whatever acknowledgement, if you will, of what happened.
As far as where the hurricane actually struck.
As far as what happened in Mississippi versus, New Orleans, that was the whole story, the flooding in New Orleans. Because, what did you say? Thank you, Mayor Nagin. Nagin,
thank you, Mayor
Well, it goes beyond that. It's the Corps of Engineers, really. But, the levee board who took all that money and didn't spend it on the...
Well, how did he get the cash in his freezer, though? How did that happen?
Nagin with cash in his freezer?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't recall that part of the story. I had other things going on. But
anyway.
I voted for him.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
did you
seem like a good...
Did you contribute to his account?
No.
Did you contribute to his freezer?
He seemed like kind of a good, viable politician. He was a businessman, Cox Cable guy, and of course Cox Cable. Yeah, it's like a Comcast, But anyway.
I come from an honest business. I come from cable. I come from a legitimate, honest business.
It always seems to work out that way when I was like, man, he seemed like a pretty good guy. Then on the back end, it's like, oh, man.
But anyway, the point was that New Orleans got all the coverage and Mississippi got all the destruction. I mean, yeah, the flooding was terrible. New Orleans did suffer. But, yeah, that was Corps of Engineers. That was whoever didn't put the money in the pumps, whatever you want to call it. You were there. You know what happened.
Yeah, not necessarily the pump. Something that was part of it, but I think it was the whole levee.
Diverted from the
levees, and
levee.
It was the levee board that had, I think that there was some corruption there. But, and of course, the Corps of Engineers took a big hit with that as well, maintaining the levees and making sure that they were,
I guess one of the
appropriately
most surprising things to me is that there is such corruption whenever a large sums of government money comes into the
It's
being.
amazing, isn't it?
I just can't believe there's corruption around all of that. Anyway, but that was. I guess there's still now. There's a lot of those vacant properties that have been along Highway 90 now are they're starting to build up little vacation homes and
great real estate. I mean,
putting them
it's
way
not
up
a
on
storm.
stilts. They're putting them way up on stilts.
And the insurance agents are
Pylons.
loving that. Oh, yes. Well, I'll be happy to write you a policy.
Yeah. Yeah, we can write you one on rising water since you've put your house 300 feet in the air. Anyway, that's but there's a lot to offer down there on the Gulf Coast, and that's just kind of a neat. It's a sad thing that we were overlooked as the landmass between Louisiana and Alabama.
Yep.
During that time. So anyway, we can talk more about that on the 29th. But anyhow, the show is off and running, and we want you to be a part of it. So we simply put that phone number out there so bravely because we don't know who's going to call. But you're welcome to do it. 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191. Easy to remember. I guess the 91 comes after our original AM numbers that we had. We were 910 AM at one time.
Okay.
So thus the 9191. Yeah.
911.
Well,
Yeah,
don't call that one.
911. Right.
Hello, 911. What's your emergency? There you go. Have you done that before? You called 911?
Sure.
Got that? Yeah.
The what? You were going to say recording or?
Yeah, you get the what's your emergency, and then you.
Oh,
have,
yeah, of course.
yeah,
Right.
Pretty cool. It's a fairly easy process to call 911 and walk through it. They do a pretty
It's
good
a fairly
job.
efficient system. I'm not sure about the response time of those that they're sending out, but I think the ambulances are pretty quick.
Well, I have to say that when I was getting somebody to come and investigate my warehouse, I was just explaining to 911 that, I think there's a vagrant or a transient or what do you call homeless, whatever those persons
Almost, yeah, that's
kind of
what I call
has
them.
entered my warehouse, and I just want to clear the warehouse, and I might like to have some law enforcement officers here, and they asked me the question, Charles. I said, "Are you armed?"
Okay.
And one time, one of the two times I called them, I said that I was not because I was not armed.
Sure.
And the second time they called, they said, "Are you armed?" I said, "Yes, I am."
Because you were.
Yes.
So you were honest both times.
Oh yeah, you just tell them. You just tell them what's up, and when the police arrive, they see you. You fit the description you gave on the phone, and that's pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay.
And they go in and help you. So, but I was going to say that it was just a matter of probably just about 3 minutes.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was the Meridian Police Department, by the way.
And I wonder in how many states they ask, "Are you armed?" You think they're asking that in California or
No.
New York?
No.
Do you have a knife on you?
Right.
Got any mace? What's the deal? All right.
If they do, they say the victim is armed, so be sure and arrest him for having a firearm. Yeah. Love to live in the land of the free, like the South.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. Come on, give us a call, 601-485-9191. But first, let's give a big thank you to Doc's Toyota for helping sponsor our program.
That's right. Right up the road in Philadelphia, Mississippi on Highway 16 West, you will find Doc's Toyota with all kinds of 2024 Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, Highlanders, Corollas, Priuses, and, of course, the new Land Cruisers. Good-looking vehicle. And, of course, they have a very large selection of pre-owned inventory, all been through the rigorous multi-point Toyota inspection process, so you know you're getting a good quality used vehicle. It's just that easy to take that short drive to Philadelphia, or even easier, go to their website, docstoyota.com, and they have all their inventory listed there. You can even purchase a vehicle online. How cool is that?
Wow.
Go see them. Every dealership has a deal. That's why they call them dealerships, I think. You get a toaster, an air fryer, a blender. Who wants that kind of stuff? I'll tell you what, every dealership has a deal, but there is no deal.
Like a Doc's deal.
Yes.
Go
Very
see 'em.
good.
Philadelphia, Mississippi.
All right, let's go to the phone line, shall we? Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning.
Y'all was talking about Mayor Nagin. I hadn't heard that name in a long time. Whatever happened to that guy? Was he convicted, or did they find out where that cold cash came from in his freezer? And
Is he just getting out of jail now? Is he just?
Did he do jail time? I don't think he's somewhere on an island, hanging out, drinking Mai Tais.
but he did get convicted and sent to prison, huh?
Well, I thought so, but let me review my history here a little bit.
You mean ask Google?
Ray Nagin.
Go to my source, right?
I don't know how you couldn't with the.
Look at you! You call in here and you get all three of us racing to our Google here. Yeah, but no, it was kind of fun because I was touring down in I guess. I guess I could be criticized for this, but I actually toured Jeff Davison's home, Beauvoir, last time. You're talking about my vacation, Charles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My honeymoon, or actually my anniversary getaway. We did tour Beauvoir, and the tour guide said he was mentioning something about the freezer full of cash, and one of the people that was taking the tour said, well, I was in the guard then, and since you brought it up, I was not supposed to talk about this, but since you brought it up, I was one of the persons there when they opened the freezer.
Really? Okay.
So,
Did they ever say how much is in there?
and I heard million, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Mm-mm. Well, I guess it pales in comparison to those pallets of cash over there in Afghanistan.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, when you can send, how are we going to move all this money? We'll put it on a pallet and shrink wrap that thing. All right, good.
Ship it over.
Just absolutely amazing. When I think I saw that one time, and that was it. They didn't show it anymore. If they did, I didn't see it. But I guess that's what kept them from killing everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like Nagin here was indicted on 21 corruption charges back in January of 2013, including fraud, conspiracy, bribery, money laundering, and filing false tax returns related to bribes from city contractors.
And claim tax return. You have to
what I
claim
was
that
like,
on your
yeah.
tax. I got a nice bribe.
Looks like they had a bunch of appeals going on, and he ended up going to federal prison, and then he got out on house arrest. And he claimed that he was near penniless at one point and relying on food stamps, and he was able to get out of prison during COVID. So,
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, somebody needs to get a stethoscope out to hear my heart dripping for him.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Well, and of course, and then again, it goes back to the whole, national, the whole national recognition of what Katrina did, and it all points to New Orleans when it comes to, what people think. Oh, Katrina, yes, New Orleans, that's the connection, but just the sheer devastation that came up the Mississippi coast is.
Are you suggesting that New Orleans is corrupt? That there are corrupt politicians in the state of Louisiana?
Well, I put the blame on the fact that I put the blame on the fact that Louisiana was under good Democrat control at the time, and the news media, like a sponge, likes to soak up Democrat liberal news rather than the conservative Haley Barbour, Mississippi red state information. So I'm going to blame it on the news media mostly.
Well, yeah, I think that Mississippi did get some coverage. I think that the ridiculousness of the situation in New Orleans kind of lent itself to more coverage during that. And
Probably
so I think it was more of the visual.
anytime,
It makes a better story. You've got these communities in the Gulf Coast that are devastated, but the incompetence of the reaction, both on the state, federal, local level. I mean, there wasn't much they could do locally, I suppose, but was really the story behind it. People on roofs, it was the visual thing, and that's why that became the story.
If it bleeds, it really leads.
Yeah, well, exactly, and there was a lot of bleeding.
Well, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of accountability when you follow the money, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And if that cat had $1 million in there, you just have to wonder, who is in charge of making sure that money goes to where it's allocated? Obviously, there wasn't any, or I guess that was Corps of Engineer money that was supposed to be used for keeping the pumps going or updating?
No, I think it was the updating of the levees. Yeah, I think the Corps of Engineers, well, there's a levee board, and I think the levee board are the ones who kind of, there was a lot of corruption there. And, the Corps of Engineers are the ones who designed the levees that would protect the city. And obviously they weren't maintained as they should have been. But I think that was more the levee board, although the Corps took a big, kind of took a lot of blame for that as well. But, of course, Louisiana is renowned for its corruption, and so it was just another indication. And that's been going on 100 years at least. Probably
that's
200
probably
years
true.
there,
Yeah. Probably still going on today for all we know. But,
there you go.
anyway, okay, well, I was just curious. I'm the Curious George. And I said, well, I wonder whatever happened to that old mayor, But at least now I know. So he did get convicted, served some time, and now he's out, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's on food stamps, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the bribes were part of the Katrina aid. I think that they actually happened before that.
Probably
so,
did, yeah.
No, you had, I think, according to one report, you had bribes from, according to one thing, a company called Rodney Williams and Threefold Consultants, LLC, Frank Fradella.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a name that sounds familiar? I'm just reading a report from the Eastern District of the Louisiana court system.
Mm-hmm. City contracts is really what it was.
That's so. It wasn't probably not so much the redirected or the unused.
Yeah, I don't know that it was federal aid. I think it was just corruption in general.
Levy money, that
Right.
kind of thing. Yep. Okay.
No, I don't know that he had anything to do with the levy board and that kind of corruption. So
Well,
it was a
maybe they
whole
thought-
separate
That's
corruption
a whole-
thing. Oh, we got corruption over there and over here. It's everywhere.
Well, how is it that Rob, you were comparing the wealth of politicians the other day? That'll be something worth reviewing if you have that handy.
I'll
that's a
pull
neat-
that back up.
That was
for
a
you.
neat little review there. But anyway, Curious George, you are. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now,
Always have been.
well, you haven't called our show before, have you?
No, this is Lefty.
Oh,
thought it was Lefty.
Well,
No.
you got a different phone, sir.
Yeah, I do. I was going to use Magic Jack this morning, but there was so much buzz, and I said I better use the cellular phone this morning.
Well, see, that's good that you did that because you do have a little static on your phone, and we endure it. But now we have this new voice of yours over this phone where you actually sound like a real sophisticated,
Like a legitimate caller.
legitimate
Yeah.
caller.
That's sophisticated.
Now
Yeah.
it's just Lefty. It's Lefty.
Yeah, it's Lefty. I guess if I'm lucky, I'll get followed up by the Has and
The righty.
yeah. On how he's doing.
But no, did you had a good weekend then, Lefty? I hope you don't mind just calling you Lefty since your affliction that you received there.
Yeah, it's obviously my new name because I can't put my arm behind me, my right arm. I can't put it all the way back as far as I can as my left arm. And they said, well, that's just going to be the way it was reconstructed. You won't ever be able to.
Well, that's going to be a problem the next time the police put cuffs on you.
Yeah. Put them in the front, I guess.
Well, I guess they could do it in the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
usually
so
they
be careful now. Yeah. I'm over 60. I'm catching up with the prez.
Oh, look at you. All right.
I pray for this country. Pray for this country. I tell you right now.
There you go. Good. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. So,
I do every day because it's scary. If they got in office, it's just, I don't know. I don't think this country's going to make it through 4 years of that administration. I really don't. We're going to have to take a stand, like Has says.
take a stand.
But, yeah.
There's one thing that people have to remember in an election. There are enough voters in each party to offset the voters in the other party if they just get out and do it. There's so many that stay at home. There's so many that don't do it. But the Republicans in all these swing states have enough voters. If they get out and go, they can bring those victories. But that's the thing. Get up, get out, vote. However you can, go do it.
I don't understand why you sign up to vote if you don't get out and do it when it comes time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why bother? I consider it next to being treasonous. Really.
Ooh.
There's so many people that died, for you to be able to do that, and I think it's
Well, unfortunately, that's unfortunate. The people that died to give people the right to say, no, I'm not going to vote. That's the problem.
Yeah. Wheel of Fortune's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Wheel of Fortune's
Wait a
on.
minute. Okay.
All right, hold on. Let's take a break.
All right, we're going to take a break. Wheel of Fortune's on here. All right. All right. What's the category?
Well, y'all have a good one. I've got to go.
All right. Thanks for the phone call. And yeah,
right.
good call there on the new cell phone. Cell coverage might be that you might still have an old Cox cable phone there. But anyhow, sounds good. Thanks, Lefty, for checking in. Good to see you.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. You too can weigh in here at 601-485-9191. But I'll tell you right now, let us tell you about, well, if you want to start something, we've been telling you where to go. And we've been doing that for at least 16 years that I know about.
Don't be a dumb bunny.
Go to Battery One Source.
That's exactly right. Your one source for all batteries. And they're, of course, 2618 North Frontage Road, in between exit 152 and 153. They've got batteries for every need and description. Watches, remote cell phones, even laptop computers. They've got battery tenders, maintainers, cables, and they'll test your batteries for free. And if that golf cart isn't running, bring it down there. They've got the best golf cart service and repair in town. That's Battery One Source, 2618 North Frontage Road. They're open 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, 601-693-1500. That's Battery One Source, your one source for batteries.
Battery.
All right.
Batteries.
It's batteries. All right. We're going to take a break here for Fox News. We'll come back, and we'll take some more of your calls. How's that? Roger here along with Rob and Charles. It's a Monday. We're off and running on a new week. Stay tuned. Treat here again. No particular reason. Just had it right here on the top of the stack. So, Birdie Love. I know you dance around the kitchen, probably burning that toast or that scrambled eggs you're cooking up there. Did you leave some on the stove? Welcome back, Roger B. along with Rob Atkinson.
Morning.
And Charles Frazier is in the house. So good to be here with the team there. Yeah, thanks for affording me the opportunity to be away last week, Charles. That was cool.
Affording you the opportunity.
You did.
You did not finance that at all.
Well,
and you went to the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
we did.
Okay.
We did. We just
No storms.
scurried down there. No storms.
Was the water warm?
Did not get in the water.
Didn't stick a toe in.
I
huh?
don't get in the water at the Gulf
don't get in the
Coast.
water?
I look at the water. I don't get
Were
in the
you
water.
like a water snob? I'm not getting in that water.
Sometimes I wouldn't.
Well, they're talking about how warm the Gulf is right now. I was down there Memorial Day, and it
Yeah.
seemed pretty warm then. So it's only warmer now. But, of course, no storms. Nothing active right now coming our way.
But I did make my way over to a restaurant in Bay St. Louis and a coffee shop in Pass Christian and a restaurant in Biloxi. So, yeah, we kind of – I go into those places, not the water. I go into places where you – well, I'll just put it this way. I go into places where you can eat.
Right. Okay.
Where you can eat something.
We gonna eat.
We gonna eat.
I'll take a bourbon and water. That's yeah, okay.
In the words of the late Ken Man, he always said, "We gonna eat.
We go.
We gonna eat."
That's right. Oh man.
Somewhere.
I tell you what, we do need to have a Ken Man commemoration day.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We're so glad you're out there, folks. And, of course, we have told you before, and we'll tell you again because it's the truth. If you have a plumbing problem, what you do is you call Barber & Son Plumbing, and they'll show you how to fix the problem, get you the right part, or they will send their very qualified crew to do it.
It's right. It's just that easy. All you got to do is call 601-482-7023. Of course, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, even if you're not a do-it-yourselfer, you will become one when you go and talk to Gary Barber at Barber & Sons, because he is just an encyclopedia of plumbing knowledge. He knows everything there is to know about it. So if you even take a picture of that part, or better yet, bring the part in, he will have the replacement part ready and also show you step-by-step instructions on how to replace it. Now, of course, that's a pretty easy way to do it. It's even easier to call them and have them come out and do it themselves. So 601-482-7023. Of course, they're conveniently located 1123 26th Avenue. It is where all the plumbers go, and there's a reason for that, because they are the best in town. Barber & Sons Plumbing, been doing it for over 80 years. Give them a call today, 601-482-7023.
So, which statement do you want to read first here? You want to go with the Meridian Police
Let's
Chief?
go chronological. Why not?
Chronological. Well, we will get to a. Actually, Charles, if you'll take the Dwayne Davis one, I'll take the Meridian Police Chief one
You
here.
got it.
We'll just read these as we go here.
All right, well, yeah, set up that police chief there.
Yeah, back on Friday, Meridian Police Chief Deborah Naylor Young released a statement regarding the shooting of the elderly couple. Of course, this happened back on, it was early Thursday morning at the 1600 block of 37th Avenue. Johnny Davis, 73, and his wife Emma J. Davis, 66, were reported to have received gunshot injuries. Just reading from the statement here from the police chief, she said Mr. Davis was airlifted to a Jackson hospital and was later pronounced dead Thursday from his injuries. Mrs. Davis is listed in critical condition at a local hospital. She went on to say, innocent people are losing their lives over gang violence here in the city of Meridian. Those who are constantly terrorizing the city and taking innocent lives will be dealt with the harshest penalty available. Meridian Police Department investigators are working around the clock to bring justice to this family, as well as all the other families of violent crimes here in the city of Meridian. She went on to say, we are asking the community to report any information concerning this incident to the Meridian Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-855-485-8477. That's 1-855-485-8477. That was a statement released back on Friday in regards to the shooting of the elderly couple. And then over the weekend, one of the Meridian City Councilmen, Dwayne Davis, made a statement.
Dwayne Davis, yeah, and I'm going to read this exactly how it's written because there's some things that, maybe, well, anyway, I'll just read it as it's written. Councilman Davis says they can feel safe here in Meridian. One thing everyone should know, that our Meridian Police Department and Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department are doing their best out here in the county and the city to do what they need to do to keep our city safe. I need to elaborate on this also, that we need to pray over our Meridian Police Department and Sheriff's Department, because they are putting their lives on the line when they go out there and protect the citizens here, Meridian and Lauderdale County, says Councilman Ward 2 Dwayne Davis. He also talks about what the city has put in place for safety. Meridian is during a time when we were not used to crime happening as often as it is now, but we do have things in place to deter crime. A real-time crime center is being brought to us to be built with real crime cameras where they can see what's going on before police officers get there. So, I mean, there are things in Meridian we're going to have, not only like with just shootings or violent crimes, but also having people that are stealing, and you have some that are doing things to other people's property. So crime is an issue, and it's very important to me. Number one on the list is what we need to take care of. At the same time, we can move forward, and we can be one city.
Okay.
And he also extends his thoughts, prayers, and condolences to the family as they go through a time of need.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, let's go back to the statement for the, all right. Now, Dwayne Davis, I get it. Yeah, we do. We want to be praying for our law enforcement officers, the police, sheriff, highway patrol, all the people that are out there putting their life on the line.
Of course. Yeah.
That's definitely a good statement. Thank you, Dwayne, for saying that.
But it is interesting in his statement, though. He also includes the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department in the statement too. I think that's one of the first times we've heard anybody from the city, whether council, mayor, whoever, kind of lump the sheriff's department in with the Meridian Police Department, because I think there's a lot of cases where both agencies report to a scene and they may be working together and trying to solve some of these cases. So I mean, that's the first time I think I've remember.
That's sort of a positive spin. I was going to say that the other that it's sort of like lumping them in with the police department, saying it's not only the police department to blame for all of this. Look, the county sheriff's department also has some responsibility, I suppose. What do you think about that, Rob?
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that he did include all law enforcement officers because it is, I would love to see the city of Meridian embrace cooperation with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department more than what they do even now. But so I'm glad he mentioned them both. I really am.
No, I think that's fair.
But do I think that he's being, trying to spread blame? I don't know if if there's a subtle, and I say blame or spread the responsibility. Maybe that's what I'm trying to. Maybe that's subtlety. I don't know. But I am glad he mentioned them. He's making this statement because he is the president of the council this year, or
I got that same question on Facebook over here too. Isn't he? Council president ? So I'm not sure. I believe.
Isn't there an election coming?
Because that sounds like something.
Yeah, that too.
Is this a pre-candidate for mayor announcement kind of speech?
Well, I mean, that's a little cynical to think of that way, but it could be. I mean, that's the way politics works. But I think let's look at the police department and kind of her message first, and then we can talk about Dwayne Davis and kind of what he said. And I think the police chief, I'm glad she came out and said something that's very important. I think she should do that after every murder or every major crime.
And we've
in the
heard
city.
from her at least 2 or 3 times this past week through a statement.
She has been a little more front and center than she has been.
Well, she highlights something that we've always said, and that is, she says, gang violence. Gang violence.
Innocent people are losing their lives over gang violence here in the city of Meridian.
She talked more about the response, though, which seems to me it's the legal system, okay? And that's fair enough, but that's sort of a separate entity.
The police
now,
arrest.
in partner with the police department,
Right.
but the police department is to serve and protect, which means more of a preventative. What can we do to prevent these things from happening?
And the police department has no authority over what level of penalty the person will receive.
No, they do as far as the level of evidence and the quality of the evidence chain, which has been discussed many times.
Oh, the collection of evidence and being able to prosecute before a jury.
Right, and having all of the reports filled out appropriately and everything like that.
And, of course, you have the grand jury this week. We visited with Ward Calhoun last week. They are going to be convening this week. So when we get that report, whenever that time will come, either this week or early next week, there's always that line there at the very end of that first paragraph, the true bill and no true bill indictments. How many of those will be no true bill because of what? Lack of evidence or collecting of evidence.
Well, and that may be part of it. There may be other reasons
Yeah.
for that as well. But they are always is an indictment.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that from the grand jury, but there is certainly criticism of the police department
it's
at the
gonna
end
be
of
in
the
there too,
grand
probably.
jury report, and without fail. I mean, it's it's always the same thing.
And also, she reminds me of an age-old problem we have in our city, and that is she did give the appeal. If you have any information that can lead to the arrest, call, Crime Stoppers. Let us know. And you can do that anonymously. There are ways you can give information anonymously, but be quite honest with anybody who knows the situation and they know what these people have done to this couple. They're not going to be real quick to put their neck on the line and say, yeah, I know something. Because if I start talking, okay, the perpetrator may not be the one that comes back and shoots at my house and shoots me, but maybe somebody he knows will do that.
Sure.
601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. I come in
Peace.
peace. Love everybody. There's nothing you can do about it.
Ain't nothing.
Cincinnati James.
Hey, right now, Miss Romana Walker is the president of the city council.
Okay, thank you for
Very
clearing
good.
that up.
Thank you.
And that changes each year.
Sure.
They vote them that, with the
Right.
majority vote on the council.
Right.
Dwayne was the president, a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Norwood did his term. Now it's down to Miss Walker. So they each get a chance to do it if they so choose.
Kind of like the Board of
And the other
Supervisors.
one
They all
vote
get a
them in.
turn. That's right.
They all do that. Yeah.
Right. And what Mr. Dwayne is talking about with the county, that's a conversation me and him had a couple of times. I even asked him to reach out to Mr. Wayne Manure with all his experience. Now, he was a little resistant at first. But like I told him, there's no permanent enemy, no permanent friend when it comes to politics. But in order to push this agenda forward, we got to cross over that bridge. So it seemed like he's reaching out to the sheriff department. So I hope they go on and work together with the supervisor, because that'll make it work better. City and county, because the city is inside the county. So it'll make it work better.
Yeah.
And you hear me all the time talk about this slingshot effect. Bow and arrow, same effect. We got it pulled back so far, it's stretched. We just got to project that projectile in a positive direction and keep it going. So I know the city look bad, but we got to keep on doing it. And you guys were speaking of the money with the guy in New Orleans. When big money come down, it seemed like so much of it get embezzled, used the wrong way. We got to get more watchdogs here. We hear this stuff on the news.
Yeah.
Hey, we got this amount of money. And then from there, you don't hear anything else about it. They do the little groundbreaking or whatever. And then there's not many watchdogs around here.
Let's get the silver shovels. All right, here we go. Off we go. Yeah.
Yep, the golden shovel.
Yeah.
And then after that, everybody go away. So we got to be more resilient, and ask questions. Okay, how much left in that fund? Where is it going? How's it spent? And see, that city council meeting, our supervisor, those halls should be full on meeting day. But, you go down there and look so sparingly, have 5 or 6 people here until a hot button subject come up. Then people will be mad and come out for a time or two. But after that, we need to let them know we're watching and, what we expect. And when they see that they got enough of the citizen expectedness and watching them, it'll make them walk a narrow line or either learn their job. Some of them don't even know their job. They just got voted in on a popularity vote, and, they just there. So,
That's right.
from there, I don't know, we can't weed them out, but just we need to put more eyes on them. Let them know they're being watched. Learn your job. Do your
Accountability,
job.
like everybody needs.
There you go.
Accountability.
There you go. Put
Hey.
it all in there.
Good job.
All right. Happy Monday morning. Well, no, that's what? It's a fun Friday, so this Happy Monday morning.
This
all
is
right.
Happy Monday. That's right. Now, when do we get to flip your name, but Mississippi James?
November.
November. Okay. All right. We just curious. Just want to be reminded so we know what to do there.
Hey, so I can hunker down for the winter.
Hey, I don't. You. Hey,
Smart man.
Mom didn't raise a fool, did she?
Hey.
That's
Yep,
right.
Yep.
All right. Good deal. Thank you for the call.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
It's Mornings in Meridian, and we want to take your comments and more when we come back. It's 601-485-9191. That's our talk line, 601-485-9191. Roger, Rob, and Charles.
Yep.
We're all in the house. That's it. If you're rolling down through Valdosta, that you hit the Florida-Georgia line, that's how you roll, right? Oh, that is Florida-Georgia line. That's Brian Kelly. He's 39 years old today. Not a youngster.
Coach. He does that
Yeah.
too, huh? Wow.
I know he was singing and
doing it all.
coaching. All right.
Yeah. So, well, see, musician Branford Marsalis is 64.
And the Tonight Show Band.
There you go. Diamond Rio guitarist Jimmy Olander is 63. And some other birthdays. Macaulay Culkin. He might be home alone again, but he's 44 years old, so I think he can definitely take care of himself.
Where's the lobby at? Donald Trump.
I know that. You know, I need to check out the video. There's a YouTube video of all the cameos of Donald Trump in different movies and programs
I
throughout.
actually saw a cameo with him. We were flipping through the Little Rascals. They did like a movie, and he was like played one of the dads, like the rich kid or whatever. He's like, "You're the best son that money could buy."
The best son money could buy.
There's Trump. I was like, "What is he doing?"
That is too good. That is too good.
Everywhere.
Oh, man. So there you go. There's a few birthdays for you. If today is your birthday, hope you get yourself something really, really nice. By the way, the late politician Geraldine Ferraro was born on this day in 1935. If you remember, she was the first woman to run for vice president.
Oh, yeah.
Representing the major political party in 1984. That was the party of the Democrats.
How'd that work out?
Was that with Mondale?
I think it was.
Yeah, she
Walter.
was. Yeah. Oops. Exactly. All right. Well, it's Mornings in Meridian. We have a caller on the line. The number is 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, I was watching one of these news networks this weekend, and they were talking to Democrat voters, quote, and they asked the people, they said, "Can you tell me anything that Harris stands for?" not the first one of them could even say what she stood for, what her policy is, what she's going to do. You know what the answers were? And when they asked, well, why are you voting for her? She's a woman. We got to vote a woman in. She has more pigment in her skin than you do, the one that was interviewing.
Yeah.
And she just smiles a lot. And anyway, on the same show, it really made a whole lot of sense. So it said, you know, most of the country's 50-50 on how they're going to vote. And they said it could be a sack of potatoes as long as it had a D by their name. The D would be voting for them. But they said 70% of the people voting Democrat don't have a clue what they stand for. They just know the Democrat.
There you go. There you go. That's and that's unfortunately, that is the mentality of a lot of people in our country where, you know, and I get party allegiance. Don't get me wrong. I understand if you're registered as a party, you know, I'm registered at a party, you know, if you're registered, you're gonna show allegiance to that party. But I think one of the difference between any of us in this room versus what the person that he described being interviewed is, we know the platform of this party. We understand some of the reasons, you know, if these issues that are in a certain party were on another party's ticket, we'd probably be a member of that party. I mean, it's just, we know. What we need is an informed, but yet also an electorate that is not just informed, but also conscientious. Can we say
I
it
think
that
there
way?
are many who vote the R just because there's an R there.
I agree.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
just they vote on the party line the same way.
But I would be willing to say, I don't know this for sure, but I would be willing to say there would be more R's that know what the platform is versus the D's and what their platform is.
Okay.
I don't have any way to prove that.
Yeah,
I can say that because I have the microphone and I can just tell you that's what I think. It's my opinion.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that may be true. That may not be. I don't know.
Maybe we should do we should do an on the street study.
And the Meridian. I don't think that's a good.
You can go out there.
It depends what street it is too.
Of course. Now, in all fairness, now there hasn't been anything posted by Ms. Harris on the website about her policy.
There is no policy listed.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That right now, that is the truest example because there is no platform or strong policy.
And that's fair enough. But I think that the people look at the philosophy of each party and they say, okay, I'm more in line or aligned with those philosophies as opposed to the specific policies, which will come. We'll find out what she's going to run. Not what she's going to run for, but what she's going to implement when she's elected. It's kind of like reading the bill after it's signed.
We've got to vote her in, so we'll see. Yeah, exactly. And
but we know she's going to be a Democrat, so you know.
Yeah.
I think I saw someone say this on X over the weekend. It was like, we have a person who got the major nomination, who's never gotten a single vote in a primary, has no policy whatsoever, hasn't done an interview since becoming the presumptive nominee, and this is probably going to be one of the, I mean, we always say that one of the biggest elections of our lifetime, but I think this go around, I mean, considering the shape our country is in right now, it is pretty important, but you have all those factors, and this is the person that got the Democratic nomination who's never gotten one single vote in a primary. And RFK Jr. laid that out Friday in what was a great statement that he made Friday before his endorsement of Trump. A lifelong Democrat who basically was censored by the Democratic Party.
Sure.
And there's truth in the pudding on that. So.
I think you're peeling back a layer of that and showing people, kind of exposing what's behind the curtain. And I'm sure it's on both parties, but still, on that party, yes, we need to show what's there.
All right, when we come back, we can talk more about the endorsement. Yes, there was an endorsement by an independent candidate for President Trump. So let's talk about that when we come back, as well as this, that, and the other thing. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. It is the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here on East Mississippi, West Alabama, right here on 102.1 FM. We're glad you're out there. Roger, along with Rob.
Good morning.
Charles.
Indeed.
Indeed. We're all here and you, so that makes a good combination. And we invite you to pick up that phone or, you know, get your thumb and just hit our that speed dial and call 601-485-9191 and be part of our show this morning. Guys, good to see you. It's Monday. It's a fresh week. Here we go. It's so delightful. The weather's nice. We've been getting these little mornings where there's a hint of fall in the air.
65 degrees this morning.
Wasn't that nice?
Yes.
Yes. Humidity on a kind of an Arizona scale. Not
It's
bad.
going to be 96 later today.
Oh, it's a dry heat.
Hey, at least we're not getting triple digits. We'll take it. All right.
Well, that being said, of course, I guess later in the week, maybe the weekend, a slight chance of rain. That's what we're having to wait and see if that happens.
Kind of hoping so because we need some.
Thursday's a 30% chance. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah. And up to 40 on Friday and Saturday. So thunderstorms, chance of storms. So maybe some build up, maybe some moisture. Maybe
That's the
some rain.
weatherman giving us hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teasing us.
Let's throw up something.
Yeah, by Wednesday, be like, 0% chance.
Yeah, right.
It ain't happening. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Thursday they say, fooled you. Gotcha.
Well, they got to keep their jobs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So they got to keep something out there. You entice people, put a little carrot out there. And,
Yeah. Now,
people hope.
The good news is I haven't really had to do much grass mowing, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's the upside of that. So anyhow, folks, we want you to be part of the show. And, of course, last hour we talked a little bit about the police chief's statement about the shooting of the couple there on 37th Avenue. Is it Avenue? Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And then we also heard the
Dwayne Davis,
statement from Dwayne Davis, council member, talking about how we need to pray for the city and the sheriff's department, the city police and the sheriff's department, and kind of a unifying statement there. So that was kind of given. We also talked about Mayor Nagin and doing time for taking money during
Gold
those-
hard cash. That's
as the
exactly
mayor
right.
of New Orleans. But
I
anyhow.
will say this. We have heard from the police chief, twice, I believe, 2 or 3 statements we've heard
Recently,
recently in this past week. Of course, Mr. Davis made the statement, I believe it was yesterday there, about all of the violence here recently. And a lot of folks, I've seen this on social media, they would love to hear from the mayor at some point. So.
Well, well, that's true that his kind of absence is somewhat notable given the severity of the crimes. But what I don't see are solutions. And, Dwayne Davis talked about how the camera and the crime monitoring system is coming into play and everything like that. But hey, let's do what we can. Let's partner with Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department and let's stop this. Let's focus on the drug crime task force, the gang task force, all of those things. And there's not sort of any change that's going to happen. It's more of a pray for us, and we're working on it, and we're going to let the justice system take over and give these criminals the harshest. But what are we doing as far as preventative measures? And she may be doing something, but she hasn't let us know. And so that's what I'd really like to see is what we're doing different to try to stop this problem. Because if we keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's clear.
Well, you mentioned Dwayne Davis mentioned the real-time crime center. Here's the announcement. Attention all gang members. Attention all gang members. Make sure that you commit crimes in front of our cameras. Commit all crimes in front of our cameras so we can have a real-time documentation of your crime.
Do you think we'll see an increase in face masks coming back?
Oh. Well, nothing can.
Please don't wear the face mask.
Nothing can hide your identity like a mask and a hoodie. There you go.
You know from experience.
Don't forget about the drone.
Oh, the drone. Yes.
We haven't talked about the drone in a while.
Wow. Thanks for bringing that up. That's
You're
right.
welcome.
The drone pilots even that we've trained. There's like 6 or 7 of them. Okay.
That's right. We do have a drone.
That's right.
The city.
Yeah.
does have a drone.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. So I'm just really kind of figuring out this real time thing. This we want to. What was Dwayne Davis's statement there? Read it again about so we can see the
All right.
crime before the response.
We do have things in place to deter crime. A real-time crime center is being brought to us to be built with real-time crime cameras where they can see what's going on before police officers get there.
As long as the camera's in the right place.
Right.
So I guess the idea is we get enough cameras out there where chances are improving that we'll be able to see what has happened. Okay.
Hey, someone just got robbed. Well, but hopefully
was this shooting though that happened on 37th? That happened inside a home, did it not?
No, I think it was like a drive-by.
So it was drive-by.
I think it was,
okay.
but
so they could have seen.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know if they would have cameras there or not, but put the drone up, I suppose. But that sort of leads back to grand jury statements about the chain of evidence and that sort of thing, and the conviction rate of criminals here in the city, which has been kind of low.
Yeah.
And so that may actually help increase the evidence against some of these people, but
As long as it happens just right.
but I think that
The thing has to align.
but I
just
think
right.
that more important, let's look at the procedures that are in place for the police department right now, because those are the ones where that's where the chain of evidence has dropped off, according to the grand jury reports, and where the conviction rate, that's one of the reasons the conviction rate is so low. Excuse me. We also have other issues, of course, housing these prisoners.
Yeah.
As we talked about that as well.
Yeah.
And so maybe the community needs to step up and say, hey, you know what? We need to construct a new jail. I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but it sure looks like that is a definite need. Although we also need to have the chain of evidence to convict these criminals so that we can then put them in the new jail.
Because it always comes back to that last paragraph, and I imagine when this grand jury report comes out after this one convenes this week, you're going to see that paragraph at the very bottom that's going to be very critical of the Meridian Police Department, because the last 2 or 3 instances we've seen has been, hey, interrogation needs to be better. They need to have more training on interviewing, suspects or the evidence like Charles mentioned. I mean, we're going to get something along those lines, unfortunately, again, at the end of this grand jury report, I would imagine. Just it's kind of an easy prediction at this point. So
it is, but I'd also like to see, and I don't know if this information is being able to, or you can release this publicly, but those who, if we find the people who did this drive-by shooting, what other criminal acts have they committed and then were released because we didn't have the space for them, or the police chain of evidence wasn't strong enough, or whatever the reasons were. I'm sure this isn't like the first thing that they've ever committed. And so why, we're talking about how we react to it. We can prevent crime by making sure that they are being punished each step of the way, instead of saying, we'll gloss that one over. That's just a shooting, or just a felon in possession of a firearm, or whatever those crimes are. We need to do kind of the Giuliani type school of the broken window pane. You convict for the small things, and you prevent the bigger things by doing that.
So I'm thinking, the rude awakening that I had the other day was, and maybe you folks have witnessed this as well, but I had not up to this point witnessed this. But I was traveling through Meridian from the west. I won't say exactly which street it was, but I was coming through a street. I turned down the street, and there was a couple of youth walking down the street.
Utes.
They appeared to be like young youth. I'm going to say like either upper teenage or, probably not in their 20s, or probably still in their teens.
17, 18, 19.
And they were open carry, and they had over their shoulder or in their hand, they were guns of some length and some capability as far as carrying, heavy volume magazines. And then, I'm led to think, oh my goodness, okay, just keep driving, keep looking forward, let's get on down the street. So this is in Meridian. Now, are these young people that are part of gangs? Are these people that are trying to make a statement and protect themselves against gangs? But this is in reality where we are now in Meridian. You would never have seen this years ago. Here we are. This is 2021. This is, What's that?
24.
I mean, the 21st century,
close.
2024.
I was going for
2024,
2021.
the 21st century. Let's get that.
Did I miss
He's
something?
on a roll. Stop him.
Did I miss something? No.
What year is it again?
That's right. That's right. Biden and I are supposed to go to the beach this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I'm supposed to meet
Weekend at
President
Bernie's.
Biden at the week. But so what is that saying now where we are? How do you, okay, you have open carry, which is legal. Okay, we endorse the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
But these youth
Utes.
are carrying these guns around openly and without any shame. Well, any shame. So,
So these are like over their shoulder,
yeah, we're talking like you know,
semi-automatic.
I didn't take a close look at them. It's just that
I know
okay,
I wouldn't either. But
these look like some pretty bad weapons, and I imagine these guys wouldn't mind spraying them up a little bit. So let me just keep driving. So this is, from my eyes, in Meridian.
Walking down the street.
Walking down the street.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight, and just kind of, you know, checking me out as I
Third
drive
world.
by.
Yeah.
And so I think of pictures that we see from the Middle East where youth are carrying, you know, automatic weapons or semi-automatic weapons. I think of videos from any war zone.
Central America, you name it, yeah.
Central America, exactly. And South America, that kind of thing. Say, did I just make a right turn into Venezuela? What's happening here? Or did I just turn into, am I in Israel again? So that's the commentary of where we are right now. And I think if you drive around town, maybe you want to avoid some of the places where I've been, but you'll see some of this. Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Roger, the problem is, and I don't condone any kind of violence or weapons that shouldn't be used or had.
Mm-hmm.
But really, America has been its own enemy right now, because there was a time in this town, in this state, and maybe the whole South, I don't know, everybody had two guns, maybe two shotguns or shotgun, and if they had a pickup in their back pickup window. So America has got a lot of this gun stuff on ourselves now. So, and like I say, I ain't condoning no kind of violence with no weapons. So we have to look at ourselves. And even back in the Western days, it was all about shoot 'em up, FBI's and all this. Everything is about guns. Every show that you see on TV back in the day, it was about gun violence. It was somebody killing someone, you know. So really, a lot of it, we just got to blame ourselves, but that does not mean that people just walk around freely on what's going on. What's happening today? Now, I ain't justifying any of that.
Well, you say America is its own problem, and you mentioned the guns.
I said part of it now. I said part of it, not all of it, but part of it.
But I don't think, knowing you from the time you've called in this show for many, many, many years, and I don't think that you would be a proponent of gun control.
I mean, no, don't take away our rights. But see, the problem is that it's like we open a can of worms, and the legitimate and legal people, it's like we're getting punished for stuff that people that shouldn't have weapons have. It's crazy. But I mean, we made that law, and so everybody has a right to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, I'm just saying, we have to just deal with it, man. I'm going through some personal stuff right now as I speak to you.
Wow.
And it's just crazy, but like you were saying, I want them to, whoever shouldn't have or whoever have, and they do something, let's get them caught. And sometimes they drag things along too long, and they have the means. Just like we got to come back to the table and do what the mayor of New York did. I'm sorry, it's not being racist now. If you a suspicious looking character. What are you doing with I'm just going to use a grenade launcher walking around the street? No, we got a problem here.
Yeah, right.
That's just to defend myself. Well, we always talked about the common sense of open carry. When you decide to open carry, which is legal in Mississippi, you're also saying you're also taking the step of putting yourself out there as somebody who wants to cause you harm. That kind of makes you a target. or actually, if you become an obstacle for someone that wants to do wrong, then they're going to be targeting you first because you are the open carry guy. You're just out there making the statement. So these youth who are carrying these large weapons and look like they could fire bullets really fast. Now, the problem is they probably have a hard time aiming them when they do that. But the point is, this whole idea of I've got a little pea shooter in my personal holster to protect myself, well, it's a whole new day about protecting yourself against some of the firearms that are out there on the streets right now.
Yeah, that's
and I'm definitely Second Amendment, and I'm definitely, everybody has the right. It's just that now the idea that you have youth putting it out there and I'm carrying this gun, why? Well, let's be honest. I think there's some young people in Meridian that really say, hey, I do need to protect myself because it's stupid crazy out there. And then you have some who are protecting themselves by becoming part of the gangs and trying to fit in so that they will protect themselves that way.
Right.
Either way, they're strapping on big guns to make whatever statement they need to make.
Right, and I'm gonna let you go. And I think like this: somehow we got to get back to the table where we can. If someone's walking around with a gun, do they legally own that gun? How did they get it and where they get it? Somehow, law enforcement, we have to pass it. We need to check this stuff, man. I'm sorry.
Well, what they're saying by walking around with these guns is they know that the police department is not going to stop and ask them why they're carrying this gun. They feel so emboldened to do this.
Right.
Because technically, they have the right, but also intellectually, they know that the police aren't going to stop and roll down their window and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Because of the atmosphere we have in this whole country, of where there's a lack of respect for law enforcement.
Right, but again, somehow we got to get to the table so we can get something where we can check: is this gun legal?
Well, the table we got to get to is really crack down. I mean, I'm talking crack down hard on gangs and make sure they do like the chief of police said. But she doesn't have the authority to do that. But it's the courts, the Congress, the people who make the laws got to make sure that we start making sure gangs have the idea that there is a zero tolerance in this city for that activity. I don't care what organization you're part of, but if you're there to bring violence and death to anybody in this town, we have zero tolerance for you, and we'll either lock you up and throw away the key, we'll send you to parchment, we're going to do something, but you're not going to stay here in this town.
All of that's good, Roger. But you can crack down on the gangs all you want to.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna get them a gun, and like we say, whenever something happens, it's gonna come back to us, law-abiding citizens, to take our guns, which have nothing to do with a criminal just going out shooting up people.
Well, the boat's full of water. We can either just go down with it, or we can start bailing right now. It may take a while to get all the water out of the boat, but we better start bailing right now.
We got to start dipping. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got to start dipping.
Yeah.
We got to come to something, man. We got to start something. We need to start someplace. And I'm listening in. Y'all have a blessing.
And we don't start by saying it's illegal for me to have a powerful weapon. We start by making sure that those who have the audacity to get out there and display them and use them in public in the city of Meridian and hurt people, we've got to make sure that they are taken care of.
Well, really what we want are only responsible citizens to have weapons. Isn't that fundamentally what we want? But we can't have that. And so if some can have them, all can have them. And the risk of that Second Amendment.
Until you misuse your privilege.
Of course.
Your right.
Or not until you misuse it, until you're caught and convicted of misusing that right.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a much harder thing than just to say until you misuse it.
Yeah.
Because many misuse them and are still walking around the streets with the guns. So.
And this is Meridian. This is where we are, folks. And you can talk about, we have safety and Meridian, but your boat is sinking, Meridian. Your boat is sinking. You're taking on water, and you've got to get somebody in the in the leadership of this city. You've got to get somebody in the leadership of the police department. You've got to make sure that you get the right judges and the court system where this will be handled properly and expeditiously. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Oh, all right. We woke up the gray wolf.
Both sides of the previous conversation have a caveat that I think you both know, but I just wanted to point out that it's the lead to your conversation, and that is not everyone has the right to own a gun. You have to be of a certain age. You have to be a legal, law-abiding citizen.
Oh.
And Roger, I don't know that when police officers see a weapon that they don't stop and go, hey, let me see some form of ID and check out those folks to make sure that they have a legal right. I mean, I would expect if I'm walking around with a firearm in display that they stop me and check me out, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. But you're talking about you don't particularly live in a community where shots are being sprayed like bug spray, and
I'm with you, but I would think that everybody in that community has a right to the firearm. Now, displaying it is your own, like you say, it makes you a target.
Mm-hmm. Well, I put myself. I put
put
myself in that. Let's just say instead of me driving in my little vehicle, it was my patrol car, and I was a policeman, and I saw these two youth, and they've got these, I guess supplied guns. You assume they're supplied. They have the magazines and everything else, and you say, okay, well. Am I going to stop by myself? Am I going to stop by myself and just roll down my window and say, "Hey, fella, come over here. Let me see your ID"? I don't think so.
You call for backup and identify where you are, and when adequate backup's there, then you check them out.
There you go. Yeah.
And then you move on. But look,
if you have the people on staff and the assets to do that.
How many folks listening to us have been to the casino?
I don't have a number, but probably a bunch.
7.
I know, but I'm sure some of the people
777.
listening to this show have driven to the casino and back home, and they went through downtown Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And if they'd have gone this weekend, they had a chance of getting killed because that guy was shooting random cars as they drove by.
Wow, yeah, see? Yeah. Wow.
And he was let into this country illegally. Oh, that's nothing happening here. That's a whole different issue. Just educate yourself.
But that's important. That's an important issue there. Thank you for that information.
All right, bye, guys.
Oh, no, don't leave. Don't leave. You're doing so good. All right.
So now the police have every right to pull anybody over and check if you are open carry. Is that right? To check to see if you are
not a
legally carrying.
Check
not
your
a felon?
ID and say.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know. I'm just that's the question I'm posing.
I guess that's a good question for the sheriff next time he's on. Say, is that probable cause? The fact that you're open carry, is that an automatic probable cause to question? Interesting.
Do have a comment over here on Facebook. I just posted this for viewers on Facebook a minute ago. Reposted. Bruce Mitchell said, "We need jobs in this area to offer the young people. Our leaders should be working on having better education and employment opportunities." That's just someone chiming in on the old Facebook this morning.
I think that's part of the puzzle. Make sure there's opportunities for young males in our city.
But is that the government's responsibility to make sure there are opportunities for employment? It seems to me that that's something that companies would choose to locate here because there is a population that's willing to work, that is educated, and that it's a kind of a viable location. Now we've talked about it, till we're blue in the face. How we have all of the infrastructure in place. We've got the 2 interstates, we've got the railroad, we've got the airport. Everything that we would need to attract business is there. Now, what's the one thing we don't have, and that's kind of the labor market, the labor pool. And so I don't know that now governments can do things to entice. You know, there are certain tax breaks and so on that we could be offering. And I understand that there are some things on the horizon. I keep hearing about that, although I think we've been hearing about that for 20 years.
I know,
but the government can't bring in business. That's not something I don't think is. They can entice.
But they have to entice with the atmosphere that business will like.
Right, which is good education and low crime.
Not guys walking down the streets with semi-automatic weapons.
That's not a good selling point.
Not going to work.
No.
Not going to work. Somebody coming around Meridian saying, I want to investigate this city, and they see that, they're like, well, maybe not. And that's it. I don't mean to be the downer in this whole thing, because everybody, we've got to talk positive. I get that. I know people that are in the business of being positive about Meridian, and we have so many good things in Meridian, but it's if you want to keep those good things, we've got to come together as a citizenry and expect, and not just expect better, but demand better.
That's right.
Yep.
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a break and let's talk about our good friends down. Well, I know a good place where we can go and talk about this later and work out a plan. Let's go sit around a table at the Magnolia Restaurant.
That's right.
What do you think, Rob?
I like it.
Inside the Queen City Truck Stop, exit 150, and today's a Monday. Woo, we got fried chicken, pot roast.
Wow,
man. Kind of restaurant has pot roast? Well, I'll tell you, the home cooking kind, and they got it up there at the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop. Beef tips over rice, chicken wings, hamburger steak, chicken tenders. They always got the veggie plates and the Biggie Burger. How big is that, Rob?
Huge.
It's the humongous hamburger. The Biggie Burger just sounds better. Of course, if you want some breakfast, they got the long haul breakfast that will keep you going all day long. I challenge you to finish it all. I don't think it can be done. You can go by there, of course, exit 150, as I said, or get something to go. Just give them a call, 601-482-0259. The Magnolia Restaurant. The air is cold, the coffee's hot, and the service is friendly. Can't beat it.
I like that. And my mother-in-law did something brilliant. She ordered a big tray of chicken dressing.
Really?
Yes, and they cooked it
Was
up
it
and they sell
humongous?
it. Yeah,
The biggie tray?
They make that on. You picked it up on Sunday, and she picked it up. And
Wow.
That's they'll do that for you.
I didn't know that.
You could
That's
just
great.
say,
Catering
hey,
as well.
Yeah, well, not catering per se, but they'll
Well,
make it
sort of.
for you. You go pick it up and take it home and enjoy.
Fantastic.
So,
Right by yourself. Rest it on your belly and just go.
All right, let's go with episode number 32 of Bonanza. Here we go. Give me some more of that dressing. All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. Of course, we'll need to take a break and pay a couple more bills, and we'll take your phone calls when we come back. And do we have the solutions for Meridian? No, we don't necessarily have all the answers, but we better start coming up with some. Gina Riley's gonna marry me. Oh, yeah. Yeehaw. Come on. How about a little Diamond Rio?
All to learn to dance.
Yeah, there you go. How about that? Guitar player Jimmy Orlando is 63 years old today.
Any relation to Tony?
That's that there. Isn't it that city down there in Florida, Orlando? Orlando? Yeah. They got that all them Disney and Universal Studios and all that mess.
That SeaWorld thing, too.
Oh, yeah. Got them whales that do them tricks and things.
Bring the bait. We're going fishing.
Where can I get some bait? All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. I want you to be part of the show. 601-485-9191 puts you right here with us. And I'm Roger, along with Rob and Charles.
Yep.
It's a great crew. Guys, I'll tell you, I happen to know somebody who, I can't tell you I don't know for sure what their political party affiliation is. But I do know that they are Bible-believing Christians. And I do know that they believe in the Second Amendment, the free right to open carry, free carry, concealed carry if you legally can do so. And they know to be fair and honest with their customers. Now I'm talking about the folks at Trucker Supply.
Oh, they believe in your right to purchase tools. And, it's Tool Central down there, Trucker Supply.
Yeah.
One-stop shop for everything you need, 519 Highway 19 South. They've got the Canivix tools like channel locks on steroids. 10 times the gripping power. Boom. Who even measures that? And a full room of Milwaukee tools. I mean, everything they make made right here in the state of Mississippi. Of course, they've got the cordless power drills, the saws, impact drills, sanders, grinders, cutters, routers, grease guns, and more.
And more.
And all of them have those interchangeable batteries. You buy one, you get that battery, goes on all of them. It's fantastic. And, of course, if you like Yeti, and who doesn't, because it keeps your coffee hot, your beer cold, or whatever cold beverage you'd like. And, of course, they also have Yeti coolers and lunch boxes and pretty much everything Yeti makes. They even have replacement parts for those Yeti items. Need new lid? They got them down there, Truckers. 519 South, one-stop shop for all your tools. I challenge you to go in there and leave empty-handed. It's impossible. Trucker Supply. Go see him. The Carr family's been doing it since 1969. 55 years.
Oh, 55 years, yes. One listener writing in talking about the problems of Meridian, and forgive us today if we're taking a walk on the negative side, but the point is there's a lot on the negative side to be talked about.
Yeah.
And one listener says, solution?
Yeah.
New police chief.
Okay.
Mayor and council are failures.
Oh, okay.
Now, what do you agree with that or not agree with that? You can. That's just one person's opinion. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Well, good morning. I was wondering if you know whether or not Trucker Supply carries cordless hole punchers and what caliber they carry them in.
Cordless hole punchers. And what caliber are they? I don't know. I don't know.
45.
Cordless hole punchers. Now, that was clever, sir. Thank you for that. Thanks for making us laugh on this manic Monday here.
Well, I heard you saying it was some sort of a sad type show or something on a Monday. Come on, I get 2 Mondays a week. You ain't got it that bad, dude.
Now, it took me a while to find out. I believe this is Senior Chief checking in here. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
This is I. I'm inbound to the base to go deliver a computer and things like that.
What we need you to do is take that little sock off of the off of the phone, and so we can hear you a little bit more clearly, though.
Well, I don't have you on speaker. And I don't know.
You're coming in a little better right there. You're coming in a little better right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I'm hollering into it.
Oh, okay. Well, appreciate you hollering,
Senior Chief. People that take electronics and tap on them and shake them, trying to make them work better. Mechanical agitation does not work for electronic devices. Just so everybody knows.
Mechanical agitation. I like that. That's a good term.
Yeah, like when you're on deck and you're in front of maybe a captain or your divo, and one of you guys is messing up. You don't tell him, I'm going to kick your feet. You tell him, I'm going to mechanically agitate your lower drivetrain if you don't stop that.
That's a polite threat.
Well, certainly. I mean, I coined the phrase. I like it. It was very effective. I only had to use it once or twice.
Yeah, mechanically agitate your drivetrain. I like that. That's good. It's
Your
good.
lower drivetrain, right? That kick you right in the seat of your pants. And see if that gets you interested in doing what I told you to go take care of. You know.
Now you said you were not at work. You're on your way though to the workplace. Is that right?
Well, I'm already today's my RDO, but I'm having to go in to deliver a computer to an unnamed source. I can't tell you who it is. It's
Now,
very secret.
I take it that RDO stands for regular day off.
That is correct. I
Whew,
get Monday and
okay.
Tuesday off.
All
But
right.
as the work leader, I still get the phone calls. So you see, I have Monday, and
Yeah.
I go in on Wednesday to start my week, so
Right.
I get Monday on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I get 2 Mondays a week.
I got you. Well, there you go. Well, I'm sorry you have to run in with this computer mission, but good luck to you on that.
Oh, I appreciate it. You got any more requests for any witticisms? I believe is the proper word.
No, I would just like to know the naval history of the day. What do we need to remember today?
Well, I don't know what happens every day. You know what I mean, Roger?
I rely on you, though. I'm so disappointed.
Well, it is August, and we know the Solomon campaign was going on during this period of time. You ever heard of John Basilone, the Marine Corps gunnery sergeant?
No.
Well, I've seen the Pacific, so yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Well, he was the hero of Guadalcanal. He done a lot of things. The man was something else. Flew around and got killed on Iwo Jima. But we named a Navy destroyer for him, and them new Arleigh Burke class cans are really pretty. I like them. However, you seen them new ones, the ones they're calling them like LCS or something like that, the WALT class. That is the ugliest dead-gum piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life. You know a ship has clean lines, right?
Yeah.
And she's pretty. Some ships are pretty. Not all ships are pretty.
Yeah.
And the WALT class destroyer is an abomination.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
You have no idea what I'm talking about, dude.
no, I'm trying to
Not a
keep
clue.
up with you, Senior Chief, but you kind of, it's like sometimes when you're in church and the preacher's kind of off on a tangent, you just kind of fade off a little bit there.
Well, it's just that the Guadalcanal campaign was fought in August. You wanted
Oh, the Guadalajara. Okay.
You started it, Roger.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I did start it. Well, that's what I used to do. I had to take history, and I went to history class, and then I fell asleep in history class. That's just the
And
way
now
it
it's all
goes.
history, isn't
That's
it?
how it
Yeah.
goes.
You
But
ever heard of a writer named James, a history writer by the name of James Hornfisher?
Hornfisher, James Hornfisher. I've
Yeah.
heard of him now.
Well, he wrote Neptune's Inferno, which was a very, very intensive study of the Guadalcanal campaign. It is worthy reading to anybody that has any interest on what went on at Guadalcanal, Savo Island, Iron Bottom Sound, the USS Juno, the Sullivan Brothers, on and on and on.
Okay, good deal.
You know who the Sullivan Brothers were, right?
The who brothers?
The Sullivan Brothers.
Sullivan brothers.
Yeah, the USS Juno, they were on board a light cruiser, all 5 of them. Their mother got 5 gold stars at one time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. God, I appreciate that reminder. That's
The original ship name for them was called the USS D. Sullivan. I think it's up in Massachusetts.
That's what
Number
kind of
5
led the
goes-
Army, that led the military to not place family members all at once
Saving
into.
Private Ryan.
Yes, sir, sort of like Saving Private Ryan. theory.
Mhm. Gotcha.
And then we renamed one of the new Arleigh Burks after the Sullivan brothers. Well, there was 5 of them all killed on the same ship.
Wow.
USS Juno. I think her whole number's 49 or 50. I think 51, so 50. Yeah. Okay.
Did they?
Anyway,
don't they build Arleigh Burke class down on the coast here?
They do indeed.
Yeah.
Pastor Gooding, my granddaddy worked down there in World War II building destroyers.
Mm.
And they got a long history of, shipbuilding there at Pascagoula.
Yeah.
People don't know that, but yes.
There you go. Well, just let you all know, the shipbuilding is going strong right here in Mississippi.
Yes, sir. That's also in Alabama where they build those ugly LCS ships.
I'd be
Okay.
scared to get on board anymore. I think they're made of fiberglass.
Mm,
I don't like them.
gotcha.
Don't like them.
Hmm. Well, there you go. Well, see, now we get more. We do get the information that we really don't need, but we enjoy getting it.
Well, outstanding.
You get on base there and get off base as quick as you can so you can enjoy your day off.
Yeah, I had to pull over the side of the road in case the 5-0 was listening. You know, they get on you quick now.
There you go.
All right, we'll see you later. Y'all have a good day.
Hey, glad you checked in. Good to hear from you. All right, Senior Chief, carrying on there a little bit. All right. Now, where were we?
We were about to thank one of our sponsors, A&A Glass.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Number one glass replacement company here in town, have been for 10 years running. A&A Glass, 217 22nd Avenue, also called Seal Award Parkway, just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. They will beat any price in town, fast, friendly, efficient, and, of course, they got great T-shirts, too. Adam and Adam got it going on. That's why they called it A&A, you know that. 601-693-GLASS. That's 601-693-GLASS. Open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Go see them. Get that glass replaced. You know, they'll fix it before it needs replaced, too. You got a little crack, little peck. They'll fix that, or they'll replace the windshield if they need to. A&A Glass, 601-693-GLASS, 217 22nd Avenue.
The Babylon Bee strikes again.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Liberal dies on toilet while awaiting CDC guidelines on how to wipe.
Seriously.
Is that what happened to Elvis?
Oh, no.
That's great.
No, no.
You're welcome.
Hey, Fauci, how do we do this?
He's got West Nile, right? Yeah, he's recovering from West Nile virus. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
heard that the mosquitoes are
There you go. There's your Babylon Bee post of the day.
Babylon Bee. Have mercy.
We need more Babylon Bee in our life sometimes.
Maybe that's it. Or maybe just some more Diamond Rio. Maybe that would help. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It's Mornings in Meridian. Call us 601-485-9191. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back with more of Mornings in Meridian. Roger, Rob, and Charles, and you. Thank you for coming along here with us. And, of course, we appreciate you being out there. You still have time to give us a ring, 601-485-9191. That puts you right here.
Yep, absolutely. And then while we were on the air just a minute ago, Trump was in Arlington at the National Cemetery laying a wreath for the 13 service folks. Yeah, the third anniversary of Abbygate today, and I thought that was very well timed, very appropriate. And I wonder if we'll see President Biden or maybe Kamala Harris. Maybe
we haven't seen Biden in
out
what, 3 weeks now?
out at the National Cemetery today to honor those individuals.
I guess the big question I have is, was there any other network carrying that? Because I know you looked around, you saw it on what? Was it on Fox? Did you see it on Fox?
I was actually, while we were on our last phone call, I noticed CNN, nothing on that end. MSNBC, no, it was Fox, Newsmax, and that was about it.
Yeah. I was curious.
That was about it.
I thought that was a nice gesture on the part of.
And he had a couple of the wives there next to him of some of the servicemen, and had obviously all the families were in the crowd as well. So I thought that was a nice gesture, because we don't need to forget those individuals on the terrible withdrawal from Afghanistan. So,
he's just using those families and that event as a political ploy.
if that's the case, then why won't Biden or Harris say anything about it?
Because it reminds people of their incompetence.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. I love it. It's mornings in Meridian.
Put that on your platform.
We didn't actually talk about it, but tell me what you guys think about the endorsement. Kennedy, RFK Jr.
It was a very scathing speech. I will say that. He really put the Democrats on blast, and I don't think the next Kennedy Thanksgiving is going to be very sweet.
Well, I get the feeling that he's not really endeared by his siblings anyway.
No, but
well, certainly not now. Yeah.
But the timing of it, I thought, was brilliant. The day after the DNC, and is it going to shift anything? Maybe a little bit. Maybe some of the independent vote. We'll see.
I think it was bigger than that. I think that there are. It legitimizes Trump for a lot of people, and I think that a lot of people looked at Kennedy as the voice of reason. Like he is a viable candidate, except for he's not really because he's kind of in the middle. And the Democrats have their anointed presidential candidate, and of course Trump. There's a way that would be. So he was kind of a viable third party candidate, although with the Democratic Party he wouldn't have even been that.
You'd be amazed at how many court cases he was wrapping with the Democratic Party. Unbelievable.
That he peeled back that layer, and just we all can see he exposed exactly what's going on in the Democratic machine. But I think that it was a bigger endorsement, and you're right, the timing was very important. But also, you've got the Democratic wave that they've been riding, and now it's time for that to end. That news cycle is over. Let's get back to the real issues and the election, and look at both sides.
And she said she's going to do an interview this week.
Okay.
Now, what kind of interview that will be, we'll see.
Scripted questions, maybe.
We're going to grab some podcaster or some TikTok influencer, and that'll be the interview.
Please.
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite meal?
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be the hard pressing interview.
One,
yeah,
right? I want to know that.
I like that. I like that term, influencer. Influencer. That seems to be the wave now. If you're on TV, you're a reporter. If you're on a social media, you're an influencer.
That's right.
But yet, media is influencing.
Exactly.
That's the real influencer.
Your mainstream media, they're influencing.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Well, we've got to get out of here. Look at Glenn Beck looking through the window there. He's
Creepy
just
knocking on the door.
Leave us alone. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.